he thinks it's his blood and he's ready to die. Like Haymitch tried to protect her. Hello everyone. So how are you guys today? Today we are going to talk about my favorite book in a series, and that's why I have done my makeup based on the theme of the book, which is Hunger Games. It's 4th of July and we are going to talk about Haymitch because it's his birthday, and this is what I think people of capital would be like the poor one. Obviously the richer ones are just getting plastic surgeries, but I'm not a makeup artist, but I tried to do something that if I wore this outside of my house, people will definitely assume that I have finally lost my mind. And that's the theme of capital. They have lost their mind. But the book I'm going to talk about today is The Sunrise on the Reaping. It is Haymitch Abernathy's backstory. Now, if you have not watched or read the Hunger Games, like first 2 books of Hunger Games, this is a spoiler warning, okay? Even if you have not read this book, do not watch my video because I am going to spoil the shit out of this book, okay? I have feelings and I want to talk about them, and I'm going to talk about them while looking like this. The point, I'm going to talk about my feelings in this video today. So if you are interested in reading Sunrise on the Reaping without any spoiler, which you should read it without any spoiler, because I want to see you in tears. I want to see you in tears. So you should not watch this video before you read the book, and you should definitely read the book. But first you have to read Hunger Game trilogy and then Songbird and Snake. So yeah, if you are going to forget, no, you're not going to forget the things that are happening in the book. Starting with Haymitch, we have already met Haymitch in our Hunger Game books. He is going to be the main character of our book. It's main character because he is going to suffer so much that you would wish he was a side character. Okay, at this point, even death is better than what he is going to go through. And I have read it, so I know it. Death would be so much better for him at this point. So for starting, I have annotated the book. I always try to annotate a book that I really love, and there were some points, like few points that I looked into while annotating. Like I have funny, which was very funny because I did not expect a lot of funny stuff from this book, but measly donor, I owe all my pink stickers in here, which are for funny to her and her alone, because she was sassy and we love a sassy queen, okay? So that was the first thing. And then the second was, I wanna get this tattoo. They were like dialogue that were like clapbacks, okay? And or some dialogue that are like deeply resonated with me. Then there is this particular thing which is like similar to Katniss, which is like our Hunger Games main female lead. How, like, I knew reading Hunger Games that Haymitch and Katniss are going to have a lot of similarities, so I knew that I wanted to point those out, so I made a different sticker for this one. The next one was, I am sobbing or I hate snow, which I had to switch midway because I ran out of stickers. There were so many sad scenes that I ran out of sticker. Like you can see how many dark blue. So much sadness. I was sobbing and I just wanted to punch Snow in his gut. Like he should be happy that he's fictional and not in real life, because I would have punched him, okay? And then there is the last one is personality Q, which is like different characters, different personality, and how they indicate this personality, like not obviously by saying oh she is very brave, but by showing some kind of acts that are noticeable, so you can be like, oh, this is what his personality or this is what her personality is like. So I love picking up these clues, so that's why I gave it a separate sticker. Now talking about the book, it is my guy's birthday on reaping day. Like how bad does one's luck has to be for it to be his birthday on the reaping day? My man says. And I think the book starts with the fact that it's his birthday, like he's up saying happy birthday him, it's his little brother Sid. Okay, he's not even old enough to join Hunger Games, and Hunger Games start at like age of 12. So that's the thing, he's 10-year-old. Remember that he's 10. Now that we are going on that part, which was very similar to Katniss, because she had 12-year-old the younger sister, right? So it was like this is a similar point where Haymitch also didn't have his dad, like he has lost his dad, and so did Katniss. So that was one of the point where I'm like, this is a similarity between Katniss and Haymitch. And there are a lot of pages where I was like very sad, especially on 5th page, right after the book starts. If anyone has read Hunger Games, it's like he's a drunkard, he drinks a lot, he's like just drinking all the time, and in the 5th page he says that I'm not a drinker, and that made me cry. Okay, I'm a weak person. I will admit to that. I do not have this sense of objectivity where I'm like, oh, he's just a fake. I do not have that. I'm so sorry, but I will cry over this stuff. And there are also very cute moments between him and his girlfriend. So he has a girlfriend called Lenore Dove, and there are cute moments between him. She likes this gummy bear, things that he buys for her and all those stuff. His best friend, he has two best friends, Blair and Burdock. I forgot about Blair. I did not forget about Burdock because he's like Katniss's father, who dies in future. But later on the reaping day, like when he goes to reaping day, there is introduction to all the other peoples, like Measley, who is like the rich person. Like already District 12 is very poor, and in that, if you have a rich person, they are often scoffed off. It's easier to make judgment against when they are rich. Okay, I'm not saying they are suffering as much as, of course, poor people. In the reaping, we are introduced to other characters like Measley Donner and Katniss's mother Astrid, and Measley Donner's twin sister. Oh my god. I spent so much time crying on this book that I am still in shock. Okay, just in shock at how bizarre, how satanic at this point is this character Snow, because what the heck, man, like seriously. But so we meet with Measley Donner, who is like one of the tributes, and along with her we meet Wat, who is also a tribute, male tribute, and Luila, and the third tribute was supposed to be someone else, like a dude, and he tries to run away, obviously, to save his life. Like who wouldn't run away? But he gets shot, and then whole chaos erupts, and Lenore Dove goes to save a woman, and they try to kill Lenore, but Haymitch, obviously in love with his girlfriend, obviously tries to save her, and then the escort is like, let's just pick this dude. She's like, let's just pick this dude as our next, like, because the second tribute, male tribute, was like already dead, so they had to choose someone, and they're like, let's just choose Haymitch Abernathy. But they choose Hemich for this matter. Okay, they choose Hemich, and Hemich is like in shock, total shock. Like you know, if you are in the Hunger Game, you are going to die. Like that's a given fact. Like they don't even fight about this anymore. So he already knows that he's going to die, and he's sad. And Lenore runs away because they are still behind her. They still wanted to kill her. Like you're already picking him as a sacrifice, and you still want to kill her. But apart from that, calming myself down. Literally. So she runs away and she does not get to say like proper goodbye, even though Plutarch heaven be, he's like, I'm going to use this woman to create this melodramatic scene about how a lover is leaving. Like they are going to crop out all the videos and just keep the fact that you know that he is saying goodbye to this person he's madly in love with, and he just got chosen in as a tribute and not just randomly picked. Okay, so all that happened, but she just leaves and she refuses to paint their picture, which is a very big thing. Like when this other girl was going to, like previous year, when the girl was going to Hunger Games as a tribute, Hamich's father was like, don't let them use you, don't let them paint their posters with your blood, not if you can help it. And he takes that shit seriously. Okay, Hemich is not playing the game. I mean, he's playing the game, but he's not playing into the game. He wants to paint his own picture, and that happens. Okay, when they meet, there are a lot of quotes that I just love from Measly Donor. Is in the train that they are taking from District 12 to Capital, and she says like, if you let them treat you like an animal, they will. So don't, or something like that. But I like that line very much because previously Louis Lam is being kind of bullied by this Capital servant, and she is just so embarrassed about this bullying. But Measly just comes there and she's like, no, we are not going to handle that, we want respect. And she's like very cool girl like that. I just love Measly Donor. And Louisa is a tiny little girl, so I don't expect much from her. Being on train, we find out that Vat is actually like casino boy or something. Like he bets on different things, and he's an odd maker. So he will predict the odds of someone winning the game, and according to that, people can bet on who is going to win and who is going to lose the game. So basically, who is going to live and who else is going to die, and he helps it. So Louisa is not happy with Vat, and honestly, neither is Hemich. But they are also not okay with Measly because Measly is like a rich girl and she's mean. But oftentimes she's mean for a good reason. So I like her, and her character development is totally that she becomes the most reliable person for Hemich in the future. Like she takes care of him, and they literally become brother and sister. I'm going to cry. Okay, I'm going to cry. The only reason I'm laughing is if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. So that happened, and they travel. Now Plutarch is a mastermind. Okay, he's a weirdo. But before that, let's talk about how District 12 people are. They are not treated well. The tributes are not treated well. They are not shown any kind of sympathy, empathy, or whatever. But after go to the capital, they are treated even worse. Like the stylish who is supposed to dress them is useless fellow, and he just gives them coal miners outfit to wear, and during a parade, which is like very important thing, like you have to go through parade, and that's where the first tragedy hits. Okay, Louisa, who is like really young, like 13 or something, and there is this accident of like someone throws firecracker in front of the cart, horse cart, on which all these tributes are, like District 12 tributes are, and the horse obviously reacts furiously to that, and there is this big accident, and Luila falls on the ground and she dies, and this whole tragic scene where he's like, he thinks it's his blood and he's ready to die. Like Hamish tried to protect her and he thinks that it's his blood, and he's like, okay, that I'm going to die, there is no way out of it. And but then he figures out that it was Luila's blood, and it's heartbreaking to watch. Even when I was reading that part, I was like sobbing, because the whole book they are like, she's my little sister, and she's my little sister, and he used to call her sweetheart. So that's the one thing that he was like, she's my sweetheart. And even though I love, because she was so young, she was so cute, that he used to call her sweetheart as a joke. And there is this dialogue that even though Lenore Dove is my love, Luila will always be my one and only sweetheart. And then he calls Katniss sweetheart. So it was like, because Katniss reminded him of Luila so much, and that just made me even more cry in that scene. I'm weak, I'm sensitive, I know. Okay, let the woman cry. Let the woman cry. And then he decides that he's going to paint his own picture. Like this whole book is about propaganda, right? Like how propaganda is spread across, and he wants to paint his own picture. So what he does is he picks up her body instead of letting the peacekeeper or the police there to pick up her body and send home. He picks up her body, and he carries her body on, like first he runs, and then he gets a chariot and he goes right in front of President Snow's house, and he's standing at the balcony. The President Snow is standing at the balcony, and he just places Luila very calmly. He places Luila on the floor, and just starts clapping, like, see, this is what you have done. But obviously that clip is later reduced to make it look like he's clapping for President Snow. And President Snow all the while was looking at the flint striker. So there was this flint striker, this one, which was given to him by Leonardo, and all tributes are supposed to carry one thing of their loved ones with them, so he chooses to carry this. And that was a very sad thing, and this book is going to be my personal death, it's going to be my personal nightmare. They start practicing, and there is this cute little boy from District 3, whose name is Empert, and he gave an idea that maybe we should form an alliance to fight carriers. And the odds maker Vat, he's like, oh yeah, there is the possibility of us living is more if we are all together instead of like single person. And people agree, and a lot, like most of the all district except 1, 2, 4 and 5 join this alliance, and they are okay with this. And Empire is also like 13-year-old. There are a lot of 13-year-old this year, and I'm not satisfied with this. And during one of this training, he like goes to Hamish, and he's like, my father is waiting on the booth. His father is waiting at the booth, and obviously Hamish is confused, like, what do you mean your father? Your father is not supposed to be here. But then he goes to this booth, and he realizes that BT, a formal victor, is his father, and that it's such a bad luck that a formal victor's son was selected in another raping. Like he's like saying that they have probably the worst luck ever. And then it's told to us that BT, it was punishment for BT because he tried to help rebels against President Snow. So as a punishment, he has to watch his son die. And Snow could have killed him easily, but he was like, no, you are very treasured possession for us. And so as a punishment, he tries to kill his 13-year-old son. Like, and it's not just that. No Victor is allowed to open a booth during training except for BT, because they wanted him to see his son die every day. Like, wanted him to experience this punishment. They wanted him to experience this punishment every single day, and he just stood there watching his son get selected for one of the most brutal games where he knows that he is going to die, because no matter who is going to win, he knows, BT knows that Empert is not going to live. Can't even imagine the kind of stuff he was going through, and yet he stands there, BT stands there unaffected. He's like, do you want to learn about how to create light? And he obviously teaches this very complicated way of making light from potato, but it's very helpful. And before the interview start, Heavens B, like Plutarch Heaven B, sort of kidnaps Hamish and takes him to meet Snow, where Snow is poisoned, and he has some bad oyster with the person who was responsible for the opening ceremony of chariots and all that. So obviously it's insinuated that he killed the person responsible for who was responsible for the chariot ceremony. I'm so emotional. And then he's still poisoned, and this is the funniest scene in the whole book. Okay, he asks if he can have some milk, like President Snow asks if he can have some milk, and Hamish sees in the fridge that there is a milk bottle, okay, like a jug sort of, and he takes that and he drinks the whole thing. He just drinks. He's like, no, I'm not helping this dude. And I totally agree with him. He killed Luila, okay? So I'm okay with that. Let he just drinks that milk. But Plutarch obviously arranges other sources of milk and bread. And up until then, the Snow and Hamish talk about Hamish's love life very weirdly. Like so much projecting on Snow's side, like, okay, move on from your situationship years ago. Girl, boy, it's been 40 years, move on, what are you doing? But yeah, it's literally been 40 years and he's still stuck on that one situationship with her Lucy Gray. He would be a nice guy in today's time. Anyways, so that happens and Luila walks out, okay? Someone walks in the door and it's Luila. And Hamish is obviously confused. He's like, hold on, what do you mean this is Luila? And the dude, the Snow, he goes, that's your Luila. And he's like, my Luila is dead. I had her dead body in my hands. And finally he says that he realizes that this is a look-alike. This bitch, Snow had the audacity to bring some other girl, torture her and hijack her mind to make her believe that she is Luila, okay, because her head is gone. The new girl, she does not know how to say anything except, hey, I'm Luila from District 12. That's all her mind works, okay. And this man has audacity to torture a woman bring girl, not even a woman, torture a girl from some other part of world and make her act like she is Luilla just to hide how incompetent he is in carrying a single chariot ride. Man child. I will forever say this, that President Snow is the biggest man child ever known in the history, okay? Apart from that, when he takes her to this tribute apartment where tributes live, Miss Lee is obviously like, I'm not living with that thing. Like, this is literally her dialogue. She's like, I'm not sleeping with that thing in my room. and surprisingly, Vat and Hebich agree to that. Like, you should not sleep with her. But then they find out that she's just a real human, and then they start feeling bad. And Vat, the odd maker, the most practical guy, the most practical dude you would meet, he is like, I will take care of Lulu. Yeah, they name her Lulu. I will take care of Lulu. And take care he does, man. Take care he does. He does take care of her. I'm not even halfway in the book. And I'm not even halfway in the book. I'm going to make 2 videos of this book. Because I'm not going to make such a long video or such a long video. So this is my first sunrise on the reaping video. This is my first sunrise, and I will talk about what happens in the next half later, because I have feelings very much and I would like to talk about them. So bye bye for today. See you in the next one.